Welcome to my home kitchen and perfectly paired with Chef Jim May. And today I'm doing an exciting dish that uses a farmer, local Sonoma County farmer, Jim Reichart, raises Liberty ducks. And they are a duck imported from Denmark that's meaty and rich and delicious flavored dark meat. We're really lucky to have them here. We are actually partnering with them in a couple other cooking shows. But the duck comes in about 1 pound, half breast. And what you do, this is going to be a kind of it's kind of French because you like the fruit and the sweet and the fruity, but it's going to have a little Asian twist to it, which goes really well with. I had to try this with several different of our Pinots, and the one that worked the best was for me, was the Laris, because you have a little bit of that 5 spice and that berry flavor. This is going to be called Liberty Duck Breast with a Pinot Noir raspberry sauce. It has Asian flavors in it, some hoisin, some vinegar, some ginger. But what you start with is these 2 breasts. You separate them and take a sharp knife, and you're going to score it about like every 1 inch apart, not going through to the meat. You just make it so that you can get the seasoning in there. And these are about 1 pound each. This should be enough for 4 people, because it is rich and you don't need a whole lot. You season with salt and pepper, both sides, and what you do in the first half is you render out the fat, which you can use. The duck fat is fabulous on vegetables or roast potatoes that can be served with this dish if you'd like. I'm doing it with noodles. Excuse me, let me wash my hands. So what you're going to do is put a saute pan on medium-high heat. I give it a little spray, or you can put a tablespoon of oil on it. And you're going to put these breasts fat side down. So you got a little sizzle there. Like I said, this will take about 8 to 10 minutes to get the to get it a little bit crispy, to get the fat out, and then the other side is going to be 3 to 5 minutes. And what happens is that because it's a poultry, but it's not susceptible to salmonella. It's fine. It's dark meat. It's fine grained. It's lots of muscle. You can eat this medium rare where you wouldn't do it with a chicken or turkey. The sauce that I'm going to make you can actually do with chicken or turkey, but make sure you just cook it all the way through. But it does work good with, like I said, pork, chicken, turkey. It's spectacular with duck. And what happens, let me get that going a little higher. In the meantime, I'm going to take the base of my sauce. It's going to be half a cup of Pinot Noir, half a cup of hoisin sauce, prepared, or you can make your own. Now, we'll have notes on the website how to make your own. Simple, 7 ingredients, just mix it together. But this has got the hoisin, the Pinot Noir, got a little tablespoon of minced ginger, and it's got just a teaspoon of cornstarch, which will just kind of lightly thicken up this. Once we put in the pan, after we take the breast out, we'll add this to it. We'll put the breast back in, put the raspberries on top, and just heat it through, take it off the heat, and slice it and dish it up. But like I said, very simple recipe, really great. Like I said, I had to go through several different wines to determine which was my favorite, so don't feel sorry. My favorite on this particular dish was the Laris Vineyard, which has this little bit of earthiness, but with the sauce and the duck, which is earthy, the more fruit came out. It made the wine more lush. It made it lush, it brought out more fruit, and it kind of softened some of the acids and the tannins, which aren't very strong to begin with, but it went really well with the duck. So as you'll see, it's just starting to brown. Like I said, we'll get about 6-7 minutes on that. The duck that we get that Jim Rockhart raises is called the Peking duck, and it has really flavorful, rich meat. Some of the finest restaurants in the country use it. They started growing them in 1992. I remember being in restaurants in Napa Valley and using that at that point in time, and it's like no other duck, wild duck or farm duck. It can be cut and eaten medium rare, which is the way most restaurants will raise it. You can cook it medium, it does get tougher, but medium rare is the perfect zone because, like I said, it's healthy, it stays tender. I have these over medium-high heat. Here, as you can see, this rendering a lot of this beautiful fat out, this duck fat. You flip them over when it gets this nice brown cut. There's a little crunchiness there on the skin. And then we do another one. And this is going to cook for another 4 to 6 minutes. And it's still going to be medium rare. We're going to remove it from the pan, add the sauce, cook it a little bit, put the raspberries and the breast back in there, and then just heat it through for about 2 minutes. So this has been cooking for about 5 minutes on the second side. It's all nice and brown on that as well. But it's going to be very pink. It's going to be at internal temperature of about 130 degrees. So it's not rare, but it's not medium. It's a little medium rare. I'm going to take this fat and drain most of that off. We don't need all that fat. And I'm going to put in the sauce. Now again, this has got ginger, hoisin, half a cup of Pinot Noir. And this is just going to heat till simmer, and it'll thicken up really nicely. And we want to scrape up all those little bits of the duck that's stuck to the bottom. That's going to have a lot more flavor to it. And that little 1 teaspoon of cornstarch is going to tighten it up just a little bit more. I'm going to put 6 ounces, which is one of those little containers of raspberry, right inside. I just want to heat that through, which will take just a couple minutes. And it's just start to break down those raspberries. The raspberries have this wonderful interaction with the Pinot Noir. There's cherries and raspberries flavors. The Laris usually has a little more earthiness because it's right in the middle of the Russian River. But with this recipe, the raspberries and the hoisin, which is that sweet and salty, kind of smooths out the edges, brings it into a beautiful little, that looks like about it. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to take one of these right now. It's nice and hot. Now you want to cut it against the grain, which you'll figure out. And you want it about, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Depends how I'd like 1/4 inch. And like I said, it's got this nice pink medium rare in the middle. That's a 1/2 of one right there. Let me get it on the plate. Like I said, you can serve this with rice. You can serve it with, I'm doing noodles. Just rice noodles. And I'm going to get a little bit of this sauce. And like I said, this is classic combination with duck, is that sweet and salty, and it's gamey, but this helps to really tame that down and make it more of a cohesive dish. So So this is what you would serve to your guests, along with a little glass of Glarus. I'm gonna try that. Like I said, each one of those you should get 2 portions out of. Anything more than that, I originally had it putting a whole breast per person, and it's way too much food. So this makes it a little more cohesive. If you have a recipe that you would like us to have feature with our wines, please let us know. We love getting feedback from you. We love hearing all your different ideas, and we love all your foods that go with our wine. So please send them to us and have a glass of wine and try this recipe. It's really delicious with our Glarus 2017.